Shaun, what a great event the Masters is. What are your earliest memories of watching the tournament?
I remember coming to the Masters when it was at the conference centre years ago. I think I must have been about 12. And I remember watching Stephen Hendry play, and we sat at the back in the big armchair seats that were in the conference centre. And I remember saying to my dad as we walked to the venue from the car park, "Do you think I'll ever get to play here, Dad? Do you think I'll ever be here?" I was lucky enough to play at the conference centre, I think, once or twice. But the best memory of the whole place was going to watch the final there when Paul Hunter beat Fergal O'Brien. I was there till the end. It was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
When you first got into the game as a youngster, what was the age where, rather than asking your dad the question, you actually started to know that you had the ability to make a career in snooker?
Well, I think in your own kind of youthful way, I decided I wanted to be a snooker player when I was about 10. I first started playing at 8, but it wasn't until I was about maybe 13 when I left school that it became okay, this is quite a serious decision you've made here. You're choosing this as opposed to an educational path. And, you know, that was a massive decision that we took as a family at the time. And, you know, I'm fortunate that it's paid off.
Let's take you back to your first appearance at the Masters. Am I right in saying that was your first televised match?
I think it could well have been. I think I might have been 19 or something, 18 or 19. I'd won the Benson and Hedges qualifying tournament to get the wild card through, and I played Marco Fu at the conference centre. I think I went on to win 6-1, nearly making 3 consecutive centuries, and you know, really took to it. I could have gone on and beat Hendry in the next round. I got 4-1 up, and I looked at the scoreboard and thought, Shaun Murphy 4, Stephen Hendry 1. That's not right. And I hardly potted a ball after that. He beat me 6-4.
26. It's a funny tournament, this one, because it's not a ranking event, and yet in the minds of the players it carries such importance, doesn't it?
I think it carries that importance because it only has the best players in it. There's no players coming through that, you know, could be earmarked for success in the future. There's no surprise packages coming through. It's the world's elite beating each other up for a week, and it has produced some of the great matches in snooker history. Brandon Parker, my manager, used to manage Paul Hunter when he was with us, and Paul won this event 3 times. And Brandon says, you know, this event's very, very special and can produce matches of a certain standard because it's best of 11 from the start. You know, and you could lose the first 4 frames in a match and still be in it. Whereas if you do that in a best of 9, you're almost going home. So there's been a lot of matches won from a long way behind in the Masters, and because of that, it's a great event.
You're quite a historian of the sport. What importance do you attach to the whole notion of a triple crown, especially as the Masters is the only one you need to complete the hat-trick?
Yeah, you know, I put a lot of importance on stuff like that. I just love snooker, and people say, oh, you're a historian or you're quite studious about it. I'm not really. I just love it, and I know things about it, that's all. And, you know, I like to think that there's a chance that someday I could hold all 3 BBC majors. I've got another chance this year, and who knows.
The next 10 years is quite a big time for you. You've been on the circuit a while now, you've got the world title, you've got the UK, and I remember we had a chat in China at the International Championship, and you were saying, the next decade for me is where I can really secure my legacy as one of the great players.
Yeah. You know, I have already got the World Championships, but I look back at that as a real distant memory. It'd be nice to compete for that tournament again as a favourite for it, as one of the players that was expected to do well in it, rather than being the 22-year-old kid that no one had heard of coming through with no pressure. It'd be nice to go there and win that tournament as a top player, and you know, I would love to think that I've got at least another, if not a couple more world titles in me at some stage before I do eventually give up. But, you know, from a big picture perspective, it's important to remember that I have won that tournament, and the pressure to go out and win at the Crucible isn't on.
What comes across with you is how much you still love the game. Yes, there's prize money to be won. Yes, there's egos and reputations and respect at stake. But you still clearly love playing snooker.
I always said the day I stopped enjoying playing snooker and lost the love for it, I'd go off and do something else. I don't know what that would be. And I hope that day doesn't come soon. But, you know, when that day comes, I'll just walk away, because it is only the love for the sport and passion for snooker that makes me turn up and go practicing every day. You know, I want to get better. I want to keep improving, because everyone's so good and you've really got to be on the top of your game to compete. It's that I live for, and it's things like the UK final, the World final, the final here. That's what snooker's about.